Hey everybody, welcome to the 2021 Astronautical Engineering Commencement here at USC. It's my great privilege to welcome graduates, parents, relatives. Actually, it's my great privilege to be at USC in general. I feel that every day, particularly this past year when so many of us have lost relatives or friends to COVID-19. And here in the United States, we think of the war on COVID as being largely over, but that is very much not the case in India. And astronautical engineering and the Viterbi School have very strong connections to India. Many students, faculty members are either from there or have relatives in India. And if that's your situation, then our prayers are with you. So this year, everyone's been affected by the pandemic, and just one example of that is I think many of you parents are surprised this year to have a student, a senior, at home with you, which for sure was not the plan for this year. Our hands-on student groups have largely lost a year of work. The Liquid Propulsion Lab was more fortunate than most because they're mostly graduate students, and since they do research, they were able to do work officially permitted under the Research Restart Plan, so they were largely successful this year. The Rocket Lab, well, they mostly had to kind of fade away, like most undergraduate groups. They had to fade away like the Jedi. In fact, I had to tell them things like, you will go to the Dagobah system and train on the filament winder with Master Noon. They were, however, successful. They were able to finish a vehicle this year with the help of the alumni network. The Rocket Lab, like most student groups, has a very strong alumni network, and we couldn't have done it without them. Thank you. So, if you've heard about the Trojan family, well, that's the Trojan family in action. So here we are, with the year we've had. Nevertheless, you all got through school. Congratulations. And it's time to go out in the world and make your mark, whether it's work, graduate school, whatever it might be. So let me finish by saying the same thing I hope to say to my 16-year-old daughter in a year or so when she goes off to college, which is, we'll miss you. Get on out of here. Have your wonderful lives. Make us proud. I know you will. Congratulations, fight on.
As graduates of the Department of Astronautical Engineering, you are the heirs to a proud history. This is the department that helped map the frontier of our solar system, and just 2 years ago was the first in the world to send a student-built rocket into outer space. This department event is a special opportunity to celebrate with your cohort of peers, your faculty and staff that you worked so hard and closely with the last several years. I know this feeling well. As a department chair of chemical engineering from 1991 to 1997, I've got to see where the real work of the school is done, at the department level. This is where you have found your calling. The fellow students we have devoted the last few years to learning and mastering a shared discipline. I hope you all enjoyed the main Viterbi undergraduate celebration earlier this morning. For graduate students, I look forward to celebrating with you at our 6 p.m. virtual ceremony later today. As you are graduating, I wish all of you a great career and fight on.
Astronautical engineering graduates, congratulations! I am Mike Gruntman, Professor of Astronautics and Director of the Master's Program in Astronautical Engineering. Usually at this time of the year we have festive commencement ceremonies with a lot of handshaking, photographing, and other wonderful things. Today, in May 2021, the situation is different as it was 1 year ago, and this is because of the pandemic, but it seems that this calamity is close to an end. Our motto, per aspera ad astra, through difficulties to the stars, got a new meaning in these difficult times. But think about this from a different perspective. When we build our spacecraft and rockets, we put them to test, to a very rigorous tests, dynamic, mechanical, vibrations, shocks, thermal, electromagnetic, electric, vacuum, and others. Consider what had happened to be a rigorous qualification test, and you have passed this test with flying colors, and today you are ready for new stages of your professional careers. A lot of wonderful things are happening in space today. Commercial space is booming. NASA continues its space exploration programs. We're going back to the moon and beyond. The United States Space Force step by step establishes itself. It is a big deal, and also it is a big deal in space technology, and many of you will work in national security space. A lot of wonderful things are happening in space. It has a great, bright future. Ready for countdown? 4, 3, 2, 1, and lift off to new stages of your professional careers. Godspeed and good luck. Ad Astra.
Congratulations, graduates of USC Systems Architecting and Engineering program. Today is a great day to celebrate with family and friends. It is a day you've been looking forward to with anticipation. While current circumstances do not allow us to recognize your accomplishments in person, I want you all to know, on behalf of all SAE instructors, that it was a pleasure to have you in our classes. Many of you have enjoyed the flexibility and convenience of distance learning, while still experiencing the feeling of being there in physical classrooms. SAE instructors make a special effort to provide this experience. This is one of the characteristics that uniquely distinguishes our program. You have earned your degree from a top-rated program in the country and from a top 10 university. For that, you should be justifiably proud. SAE has prepared you as a multidisciplinary engineer with sufficient depth and requisite breadth to successfully tackle complex systems problems of the 21st century. At a time when systems engineering is going through an exciting transformation, you have been fortunate enough to get in on the ground floor of this exciting advance paced by the developments in model-based systems engineering. You have learned the importance of a new mindset, one that encompasses systems thinking, critical thinking, associative thinking, and transdisciplinary thinking. This new mindset calls for understanding interdependencies and relationships among system components, their interactions with the environment, and how change propagates in complex systems. You've learned that problems that appear intractable, when viewed solely through an engineering lens, can often become solvable when viewed through a transdisciplinary lens. You've learned that systems architecture is becoming increasingly more important as systems continue to grow in interconnectivity and complexity, resulting from advances such as the Internet of Things and Industry 4.0. You've learned that with increasing access to data, machine learning and data analytics have become important adjuncts to systems engineering, and specifically in reducing uncertainties and improving system models. The knowledge you have gained in the SAE program will allow you to stay at the forefront of the field, capitalize on new opportunities, and help your companies in making the right decisions that can potentially lead to successful business outcomes. I encourage you to stay in touch with fellow SAE graduates and instructors. Do your best to contribute and grow the SAE network because it is your network. You have earned a graduate degree that has prepared you for technical and societal challenges of the 21st century. So seek out those challenges and apply your expertise for the benefit of society, the country, and the world. Congratulations once again to each of you and your families, and may you succeed beyond your wildest imagination in the years ahead. Thank you.
Astronautical Engineering Class of 2021 and Master's and PhD program graduates. Congratulations. I'm Joseph Wen, Professor of Astronautics and Astronautical Engineering PhD Program Director. Today marks an important milestone for every one of you. You have successfully completed one of the most rigorous academic engineering programs in the country and have overcome the challenges presented by the pandemic over the past year. We are truly proud of you. More than 50 years after the Apollo moon landing, astronautical engineering is at a new turning point. NASA is finally returning to the moon in addition to expanding its solar system exploration activities. The commercial space industry is taking off, and the space infrastructure has become part of our everyday life. Today's astronautical engineering is not only about going from point A to point B, but also about the extraterrestrial engineering, which will transform the outer space from a hard-to-reach frontier to an outpost for settlers from the Earth. This is a very exciting time to be an astronautical engineer. We wish you the best of luck in your next adventure, and we look forward to hearing about your new accomplishments in the coming years.
At 328,000 feet above the Earth, air is too thin to sustain winged flight. Beyond this boundary, known as the Kármán line, space begins. Founded in 2005, the USC Rocket Propulsion Lab has attempted 4 space shots, all unsuccessful. After an extensive development and test campaign, including the record-breaking flight of Fathom 2 to an altitude of 144,000 feet, USC RPL launched Traveler 3 in September 2018. Unfortunately, due to procedural and communication issues, Traveler 3 was launched with its avionics systems unarmed. No flight data was recorded, and no recovery system deployed. Despite this failure, Traveler 3 survived powered flight and impacted intact, proving its design to be fundamentally sound. Armed with this knowledge, USC RPL is moving forward with Traveler 4. Designed like its predecessor to travel nearly 6 times the speed of sound and reach altitudes of 400,000 feet, Traveler 4, if successful, will be the first all-student-designed and built rocket to pass the Kármán line and reach space.
In the Rocket Propulsion Lab, we design, simulate, and manufacture all of our parts in-house.
The motor was one of our largest of all time. It's about 180 pounds of propellant.
We follow a recipe that was created over many years. We were able to come up with a propellant that rivals some propellant that's made by like professional companies.
All the PCBs, the structural components had to be built completely ground up. You know, it's exciting because in a way we kind of got to do like a free update.
We're gonna pass this in.
I am powering the hamster unit on.
Peter? This is Connor checking in. We have successfully handed the unit off for recovery. Over.
Avionics unit going in.
We are ready to receive rockets.
Run slow, slow.
All right, Neil here. The truck is rolling out right now. Over. Now beginning our go halt checks.
Confirm the air and range are clear.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition.
kilometers. 13 kilometers. 17 kilometers. We are appearing to start to lose walk. Over. We appear to be getting pieces of packets. Over. The drogues are fired.
Drogues are fired. We're in space.
Packet. 2 kilometers. 2 kilometers.